Welcome back to Helium Turtle Studios. My name's Chris, and today I'm wearing a new hat, and I hope you like it. Today, again, we're going to be talking about the Sigma FP, my favorite new little camera. Figured I'd make a little follow-up video here and go into how I've rigged up this camera with various accessories. You know, this is kind of what I've figured out so far works for me, but let's get into it and I'll explain some of the things I'm using and you can kind of build it out to how you like it. And that's what's so fun about it. This is what it kind of looks like when I'm using this camera, probably 90% of the time right now. I have my battery solution. I got my Sony battery that can power this thing all day long, and it kind of doubles as a grip, even though I probably shouldn't use it as a grip. Sometimes I do. You know, I think 90% of this stuff is from Small Rig. They make a ton of camera accessories, usually pretty damn high quality. What I have here is the secure cable management from Small Rig. That way you don't damage your ports or your cables. So I love preserving those ports and just making sure everything's right where it's got to be. You know, I even got this nice thick USB-C cable from that company Condor Blue. They make a lot of good stuff too. I have a nice way to mount your monitors. They have one of their things here. The quick release plate system is not from Small Rig, but a ton of different companies make them. I think I just got one of the cheap knockoffs. The Small Rig SSD mount, and to top it all off, I've recently adapted all of my plates to Arca Swiss mounting. I think it's a great solution. Some people don't like how the levers can sometimes get a little loose, but it really hasn't happened to me that much so far. I've been loving it. So I threw on literally this like nice mounting plate that gives you, you know, a bunch of different ways to make sure this thing gets on and never comes loose. You know, you really have to crank it off to try and get it loose. So I never have to worry about plates anymore because all my tripods, all my stands, all have this mounting thing on that you can just, oh, so yeah, the lever wasn't back, that you can just slide on and then clamp and it's good to go. I promise it's simpler than I'm making it look. So right away I knew that a power solution was going to be necessary to do what I wanted to do specifically with this camera, was to use it on film shoots, on indie film shoots. So the first thing I looked into was, all right, how do I get more juice out of this thing? And the first thing that came to mind was, well, I have a ton of these little Sony batteries. And not only, this is the small variety here, I don't know if you can see in the B cam, but I have about 10 of the medium-sized one, which are like 5,600 milliamps. So I was like, there's gotta be a way, because I know we've done it before with the Blackmagic. Sure enough, Small Rig coming in clutch, giving us the, I think it's just a bunch of numbers. I don't actually know what it's called, but it is a battery plate with a DC out. And I actually rigged this up with a quick release plate. So what I can do is I can turn this on the side. I have a quick release plate right here, and I just slide that baby in, lock it in place, and we're good to go. And I can take that battery I just had, slide her in, and we're good to go. You know, you could mount this on the top. I also have a quick release plate up here. And so this connects, let me show you the, this is the little DC coupler that I believe Sigma sells, but there's also a couple other companies that sell this type of dummy battery. I think people use these for GH4s, and the same one will work. I'll link it in the description below. But this is where the fun part comes, because it's a different size than the DC out on the battery plate. So I got something working, but it's not perfect. Let me show you. So here's a different dummy battery plate. Same thing as the other one, except I have converted it, kind of. I've basically taped together, converting down one DC size using a coupler, and then converting down another DC size to get this right angle. So that way I don't have wire coming out of here. So this plugs right into the side. It works. Obviously it's super DIY and not really what I'm looking for. So I'm continuing to search for a better way to use Sony batteries on the Sigma FP. If anybody has any ideas on this, or a certain cable that I couldn't find, please let me know, because that would be awesome. But if you're trying to go more the indie film kind of cinema route, you might even want to look into the V-mount battery option. This will make the rig a little bit heavier overall, so it's kind of, you know, its own thing. But there's definitely more widely available power solutions for that can kind of not be so, you know, but hey, it works. Oh, I forgot. I also stumbled upon another interesting battery option for the Sigma, USB adapter. I don't know why it comes with two. I've used it only once and it works. All I did was plug this into a regular USB power bank, you know, medium-sized one. So you could run this to a USB power brick, and you can run power that way too. So there's a bunch of different options here to get what you want, in addition to the regular battery they give you. Now we're on to audio solutions. So I had mentioned in my last video that the onboard audio for this camera wasn't great, which is true. You know, I think you can get away with it for some vlog stuff, but it kind of has that stereotypical tinny DSLR kind of sound. I went out and purchased one of these little guys, which is, this company is called Saramonic, and it is a passive shotgun microphone that can plug right into the side with a 3.5mm cable. So I can just spin this right around on the side and open the flap here. There's a joke here, but I'm not gonna say it. So I don't really use it that much, except for if I'm going to be doing a vlog style thing or some street stuff, and that way I can get better audio than I would in here. And there's plenty of options for this too. Rode makes a great one. I just kind of picked up this one because it was cheap. It was like 50 bucks, but it served me pretty well. So if you want to look into that, feel free to do so. Another audio option, I know some people out there were asking if it was possible to go to XLR, and while I didn't think it was, I was proven wrong, because I searched up XLR for the FP, and a little preamp came up that actually takes the signal from the microphone jack and beeps it up to XLR. So you could even throw that on top and get, you know, professional XLR mics into your camera, and there you go. You have a great audio solution that way. So there's a couple different ways to build out the audio on this camera as well. Now we're on to monitor solutions, and normally I'm using the SmallHD 702 Lite for a lot of my film stuff. I love the ecosystem, and but that's a whole other video. I got this 5.5-inch port keys monitor that they just came out with. Let's see, it is the LH5P, and it's treated me well. You know, you're able to see stuff in daylight. It's kind of a smaller form factor, only one battery spot on the back, but you know, it's pretty light. It keeps things nice and light. And thanks to our friends at SmallRig once again, they make a ton of great little mounting solutions for monitors. Slide that right into the top, snap it into place, and we have our monitor. So, and this is kind of another modular thing that I can sometimes, you know, take off. Say I want to put it on the Ronin, I'll put it in a different spot there. So there's a bunch of different ways you can do that too. I like mine to sit right on the top a lot of times when I'm just doing handheld stuff. One thing I didn't even talk about is what lens I have on here, which happens to be the Canon Nifty 50 original USM 1 or whatever. Like I said in my other video, $150 lens, and it hasn't let me down yet. You know, it's the first lens I bought. I bought it for the Across America road trip video because I didn't want to have to worry about damaging a cinema lens. But honestly, I didn't really have that many other options anyway. And I wanted to go into an EF ecosystem because I have some other friends that work in that ecosystem, so we could all trade lenses. Right off the bat, I bought the $200 EF mount converter from Sigma, the MC21, I believe. They also sell their brand new contemporary lenses, which I'm looking forward to get my hands on, because I think that's honestly the logical next step for this camera. It's going to make everything so light, and they're full frame lenses that weigh like half a pound, not that much heavier than this, and this thing is like tiny. So I'm excited for those. Might be looking into getting some of those soon. Thank you everyone for watching. Stay tuned for more FP videos because I have a couple more in the pipeline right now, because I'm just so excited that you guys are excited to learn more about what this thing can do and pushing it to its full potential. But until then, I'm Chris for Helium Turtle Studios, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers. What? I pointed up on that one? What does that even mean? God, man, I gotta learn how to do outros. I can't do them. I fall apart at the end. Why do I have to do something with my hands? point up. Next time I'll point down. The devil.